look at this awesome shirt. I saw it and immediately thought of Six of Crows. Hello everyone, my name is Tasha and today I'm bringing you the rest of my TBR for the Around the Year in 52 Books reading challenge that I am doing this year. I recently posted a video with the books I have already read for this challenge. I was a bit late, but doesn't matter. I will link the Goodreads group for this reading challenge down below. And I'm gonna stop rambling now and get to the books that I still plan to read. I don't have a book picked out for every challenge yet. Some of them I'm not sure, others I just can't think of anything, so I might need your help. Challenge number 3 is to read a book from the Goodreads Choice Awards 2015, either a winner or a book that was nominated, and I chose Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. Challenge number 5, a book with a title beginning with the first letter of your name. Right now it's blank. I didn't want anything that had a the in front of in the title. I don't know if that makes sense. I could make it count because I do go by Tasha a lot. So number 6, the highest rated book on your TBR. So I went onto Goodreads and checked the put the rating thing. There were a few books on my TBR that were rated higher, but they're not out yet. And I don't get why people rate books that haven't been published. So I went with the first book that is published, and that is Queen of Shadows by Sarah J Maas, the 4th book in the Throne of Glass series. Number 7, a book about books. For this I plan to read The Storied Life of A.J. Fikry by Gabrielle Zevin. Number 8, a classic with less than 200 pages. For this I plan to read The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. This will also work for my 2016 reading goals, resolutions, because I want to read more classics, so there's that. Number 11, a book from the Rory Gilmore Challenge, and if you go into the Goodreads group, there is a list with all the books that Rory from the Gilmore Girls read. I never watched it, but there's a list and you can check that out. What did I pick for this? Emma by Jane Austen, another classic. Number 12, a childhood classic. For this I plan to read Peter Pan by J.M. Barrie. Number 14, a book with one of the 5 W's or H in the title, so why, where, when, what, why, how, who. I think I said one of those twice. For this I'm gonna read When We Collided by Emery Lord. This just recently came out. I keep seeing this cover, which is really beautiful, so I can't wait to read it, even though I don't know what it's about. Number 15, a book set in the past, so about more than 100 years ago. And for this, I'm still in the process of reading Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. I actually started this in January, and I'm still reading it. I'm currently 60% through it. I will finish it eventually. Number 16, a book from the top 100 mystery novels. Again, if you go into the Goodreads group, there is one thread with links to these kind of things, and from one of those lists I chose The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I already planned on reading this, so it fit perfectly. Number 18, a book on a summer or beach reading list, and I didn't really look at a list, I just chose my own summer beach book. And I chose Summer Days and Summer Nights, edited by Stephanie Perkins. This is another short story collection. Number 19, a non-fiction book. For this I chose Grace in Style by Grace Helbig. If you don't know Grace, she's a YouTuber, quite popular, and this is actually her second book. Her first book was Grace's Guide, and I read that back when it came out. I loved it. Number 21, a book from the Goodreads recommendations page. I went on that page. I think I looked at the recommendations I got from other people on Goodreads, and one of those books was The Orphan Queen by Jodi Meadows. Number 25, a book whose main character is in a profession that interests you. I don't have a book for this one now. I haven't really found one that really convinced me to read it. One profession that interests me is the one that I am qualified for, and that is a nursery nurse, or teacher, kindergarten teacher, whatever you want to call it. But I don't know any books that have where the main character is that. A book with a beautiful title, in my opinion. For this I hope to read Wink Poppy Midnight. The cover of this is beautiful enough, but I just love the sound of this title, Wink Poppy Midnight. It has a nice ring to it. Number 28, a biography, autobiography, or memoir, I hate that word. For this, I'm either gonna read one of Mindy Kaling's books or a book that, which one was it? Furiously Happy by Jenny Lawson? I think that was it. Number 29, a book by an author who writes under more than one name. For this, I only wrote down J.K. Rowling because she's the only author I could think of that writes under a different name. Was it Robert something? If you have any better recommendations, because I'm not sure what her other books are like, if you have any other recommendations for me, leave them down below. Number 30, a fairy tale from a culture other than your own. Again, I don't have anything yet, mostly because I haven't looked too much into it yet. I might look into the Goodreads group and see if there are any suggestions there. Or if you have any recommendations for me, again, leave them down below. I guess my culture would be American and German, so I would need fairy tales from different cultures. Number 31, a work of young adult fiction. I read mainly young adult fiction, but I have written down Let's Get Lost by Adi Al-Said. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I have this book on my Kindle, and I will probably read it around summertime because it seems like a very summery book. Number 32, a historical fiction book, and for this I plan to read A Madness So Discreet by Mindy McGinnis. Trina from Between Chapters loves Mindy McGinnis, and she made this video with like reasons why you should read this book. I think that was the kind of video she made for this, and it sounded really interesting, so I'm really excited to read this. Number 33, the 16th book on your TBR. So I went onto Goodreads again, into my to read shelf, and at that time when I made this list, the 16th book on that list was Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor. Number 35, an award-winning book. For this I wrote down All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. Number 36, an identity book, a book about a different culture, religion, or sexual orientation. For this I plan to read None of the Above by I.W. Gregorio. Number 37, a book that you've seen the movie of but haven't read. For this I plan to read Ella Enchanted by Gail Carson Levine. I've seen the movie with Anne Hathaway years ago, and I really loved it. I love it so much. But I've heard from different people that it doesn't do the book justice, so I'm very intrigued to see what I think of the book because I really like the movie. Number 38, a book about an anti-hero. For this I plan to read The Young Elites by Mary Lou. Number 40, a novella from your favorite genre. For this I plan to read Fairest by Marissa Meyer. I'm not sure when I should read this novella. I'm not sure if I should read it like now in between or after or just before winter. 41, a book about a major world event, fiction or non-fiction. For this I plan to read The Diary of a Young Girl by Anne Frank. Number 42, a top 100 fantasy novel. For this I wrote down Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. Everyone is loving Brandon Sanderson and I have yet to read one of his books, but they're very intimidating. Number 45, a book related to a hobby or passion you have. I'm not actively doing anything at the moment, but I still consider myself not an artist, but art is definitely a hobby of mine. I used to be really active a few years back. The book I chose for this is I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. I'm pretty sure one of the characters is an artist in this. Correct me if I'm wrong. Number 46, a crime story. I don't have a book for this yet, so please leave recommendations down below for a good crime story. Number 47, a book with a type of food or drink in the title. I chose Salt to the Sea by Ruta Sepetys. I guess salt does count as food because you put it on your food. I don't know. Number 48, a dystopia. I'm kind of over dystopian books. Not a lot of interest, but I have been hearing so much about The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken. It seems to be a really good dystopian, so I'm intrigued to see if I'll like that one. Number 49, a book with a great opening line. I don't have anything for this. I'll randomly assign a book to this once I find a book that has an interesting opening line. Number 50, a book originally written in a language other than English. I don't have a book for this one yet, but once I go back to Germany, I will go to my local library and pick a German book by a German author, so we'll see which one it will be. 51, a short story from a well-known author. Again, I don't have anything for this yet, so if you know any short stories from well-known authors, please tell me down below because I don't know any. And lastly, number 52, a book published in 2016. I have so many options for this, but I had to choose The Raven King by Maggie Stiefvater. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Please, if you have any recommendations for the topics where I don't have a book yet, leave them down below. I'd really appreciate that. Also, if you want to see which books I have already read for this challenge, I will leave my progress video down below. And that was it for this time, and I will see you next time. Bye!